nervousness and the tension as you're waiting for the game to start, and loose then you're involved in it.
So Waite's forward and Henderson's back at the moment.
How's that? As we zero in. Opening bounce. The loser goes home. Rocks go at it. Marriage tapped it down. Gibbs tackled immediately. And the ball doesn't release.
Thanks, guys.
Cochin applying the tackle. Umpires this afternoon, Farmer Nichols and Meredith. Won by Marriage. Slapped out of there by Martin. Wide of the congestion. Revolt does well. Kicks inside the forward 50. Chance here. Uncontested. Edwards. Aaron Edwards. This is a great story. Back in the team and kicking goals late in the season. But a must-be-in player as far as selection is concerned, at least for the moment. That's been his history. Sometimes he's hot, sometimes he's cold. But he's warm right now. What a way to start. Early kick. Juggled the mark, but under no pressure. Can he finish? Steps inside the 50. Tugs it wildly out of bounds. No, it just sneaks in for a behind.
Well, already you can see Jack Revolt had come right up to the stoppage, dragging Jamieson out of the forward line 50. That left Edwards isolated on Tui. That's a matchup I'd be worried about if I was Carlton.
So Tui, such a good kick, the Irishman. And he goes for distance. Early touch to Deledio, building back in, half volley. And just missed by Pettit going forward. So Vickery there. It looks like Henderson's got Vickery, so that's one of the jigsaws that we weren't quite sure about how they would set themselves up down back. If you just join us, McLean, late withdrawal. Here's Murphy. Clever kick, actually. He would have kicked it into Grigg if he hadn't. Floston, first-year player, a very good one. Rants back to Floston, and then he eyes up, measures the kick. Simpson took off brilliantly on Pettit. So Pettit's got the job on Simpson. Terrible kick to Jackson, to Martin, who's a goal kicker. Just missing.
He was quiet last time they met. In the action early, Aston Martin, Murphy to half-back. Great to see Digan back. Forgotten man goes down towards the wing. Good ball movement by Carlton. Simpson looks deep, bets. Well, he's not a tall man. He's outnumbered by two taller men. And the ball goes out of bounds from the fist of Morris.
Spoke about Ranch in the pre-match, his desire to come off and help teammates. Classic example there.
So Marriage won it. Gibbs, well done. Warnock, he's got a good hook on that. That could be a goal. What an unlikely first goal scorer. The Giant gets the first.
Yes, Marriage should be kicking himself at the moment, taking the ball out of the ruck contest. No, it was just a second effort. He just lost him a little bit from that. Yeah, it can happen. But Marriage would still be thinking, oh, my opponent's kicked the first goal. Whenever one of the ruckmen kicks the first goal, immediately the ruckman mindset is, okay, he's now going to go forward. I've got to be just a little bit more defensively minded.
His first goal for the season. Inside 50s. Richmond 4, Carlton 1. On the scoreboard, Carlton lead by 4 points. Good bounce. Marriage. Warnock up very high, hooked it down, bounces off Judd. Curnow slung, did okay. Scotland got the arms free. Warnock towards half forward. Trying to charge through down there was Morris. Grimes got it away. Hooley moved it about 10 metres. The call was certainly clear enough. Conker, well, he tried to bluff the umpire. Oh, and he did.
Thank you.
He might be a little bit deaf after those roars when he came onto the ground, maybe ringing in his ears.
Well, he'd be a good poker player if he heard it, because he just stood there and dodged that bullet. Garlett, well done by Deledio. Hooley, terrific. To Ellis, so impressive, Ellis. Kick down the line. So Edwards has 2 wins over 2. He missed the goal, but he's had 2 marks on him. That kick down the line. Pettit got rid of Simpson. There's a lot of matchups here today. I noticed Judd went and stood alongside Cochin at the centre bounce a moment ago. So even Juddy may be having because of his restrictions, a slightly different role today. So Jamison's kick. Cruiser, the big truck going hard at it. Judd's tackle was pretty good, I reckon. Ball comes out. Ellis again on the left.
Got it from Jackson, high ball. Revolt in that pack. The mark is held by Edwards. He's small at the moment. Finding the football. It's a terrific pack mark, goes short. Almost gave it away. A loose ball inside the 50. Jamieson in trouble. Judd had it momentarily. Bell falling to the ground did well. McGuinness under pressure. Garlett kicks it out towards the wing. All Tigers out there though. Chaplin, Deledio, and now Hooley.
He's so good with ball in hand, Hooley. It's a brilliant kick. Rance, who loves to run and carry now. He can be a little nervy at times and not quite sure what he's going to do all the time. That's a pretty good kick to half forward. Simpson's had a terrific start in a boundary throw-in.
Carlton started McGuinness forward and Tui back, but Edwards got a couple of marks on the smaller Tui. I reckon already Mick Malthouse will be asking the question is, do we need McGuinness, who normally plays defence, to back as our third tall?
Marriage down to Cochin in his hip pocket. Curnow, and the ball goes out of bounds.
You could see there, Dennis, that tackle on Curnow you just mentioned. That is the matchup. Curnow is going to Trent Cochin with the hard tag. And just at the moment, it appears as though they're not going a hard one on Mark Murphy, Richmond. They're paying more attention to Bryce Gibbs. Whenever he's on the field, Jackson's going to him. So Murphy might not have a tag, so look for him to be a bit dangerous.
Curnow again tackling Cochin right there. Curnow terrific at their last meeting. Held Cochin to 14. Slowest of the season. Here's Gibbs. Close to the boundary line. Man having a wonderful season. Jackson pushed across the line.
Well, Richmond have been really quick to identify the mismatch. Edwards on Tui. Revol's coming right up to the stoppage. Vickery's taken Henderson out lateral to the stoppage. Provided a lot of space for Edwards.
So almost playing as a full forward, Edwards, at the moment with Tui. So they're the lone ones back. They're the last men standing. This is the other Edwards. And that one skews off on a boundary throw-in. So there we have them. What Nick Revolt was talking about a moment ago. So Edwards and Tui isolated there. He's had 3 marks in the opening minutes, Edwards. He missed a pretty easy shot first up, but he started brightly. Cruiser, so they'll double team on Marriage. Vickery, of course, to help Marriage through the day. Morris, his father, played in a couple of those premierships in the 70s, 73 and 74. Kevin Morris for Richmond. Mick Malthouse, of course, has a great connection with the Tigers as a player. Premiership player. Judd, first time it really caught him. Betts had it whipped away. Good tackle from Hooley.
Boston goes down.
Boston.
He's got the free kick.
Straight up. Straight up. Richmond kick.
Boston playing only his 18th game and already a final. Chris Newman not amused. Yes, he was. He loved it. There's Hooley across half back. Runs inside the centre square of Loston. Likely tight too. Searching kick and a beauty. And Rance well up the ground. Gee, took off. He ran about 50 metres or 60 metres there. And the ball was in the hands of Loston. It'll take his best, and he's huffing and puffing. Alex Rance with those John Hamm looks. Kick is on the way. Hangs it right up to the square. Big pack off hands, falls in front, trying to find a way through down there. No success. Pittard was slung out of there. Cruiser jams it on the boot. Slammed back inside. Nicely done by Greg. Deledio measures the kick. It's always to the right.
So they've had a few shots, haven't they, the Tigers?
He got away then, Deledio. It looks like Nick Duigan is playing a type of defensive forward role on Deledio, but he got hit in that marking contest, which is how Deledio got free.
Gee, that's a probing kick by Tui, but Walker not able to take it. Jake King goes to full forward. Revolt, well done. Jamieson closing. Murphy had it sort of whipped away a bit. Robinson very good. Hardest man in just there. High tackle, free kick, Tigers.
Let him up, let him up.
So Jake King.
Mark's here, Mark.
There's only one Jake King. He's unique. What a interesting player he is. He's made the most of what he's got, and he's very good. Cruiser back. Vickery. I thought Cruiser had his Vickery in front.
Man in front took the mark.
Well, he was going to play on there, the umpire, but changed his mind at the last second. He's awarded the free kick to the man in front.
I wonder if in reflection he should have punched it away.
Look at this.
That's it there, okay? That's here.
Yeah,
hands on
I mean, traditional in football to play the man in front. Well, I've got a feeling that Cruz had a little bit more purchase on the footy.
But not going for the punch either of the defenders there, eh? So Vickery with a chance. They need this, Richmond, because they've had these shots. 20 goals, 14 from set shots. He should get it. He does. Richmond get their first goal in a final. Well, since 2001. Well, it was a hard call. I felt like Carlton had a fair bit of that ball, but
Yeah.
it's the old saying, as Lee said, man in front gets paid the mark.
They look like 3 sets of hands actually around it. I guess you're therefore, if on that situation, you play the guy who's got the front position, which was Vickery. But yeah, it was a big decision by the Carlton defence, Cruiser particularly, to think I can mark it, therefore not spoil, to be sure.
It's a bit of a dilemma you find yourself in. Do you come in and absolutely kill the pack with a big fist, or back yourself in and take the grab?
Vickery in the action again. 26 goals for the season. In the last 2 meetings, 3 in both games against Carlton. Martin charges out of the middle. Can they go back to back?
Illegal shepherd.
Whoops.
Illegal shepherd. No, you can't bump him like that off the ball.
Edwards, though, is feeling it.
Free kick out.
Unfortunately for McGuinness, so is he. But in a different way.
That's right, McGuinness might have gone back there to take the Edwards match-up, but there too, it just didn't look big enough.
He's dangerous, Edwards, when he's in this mood. Simpson, what a season he's had. Plays on, runs to the pocket, barely, and kicks it outside the defensive 50. Rance will up the ground again. Cleared him and his marker. Warnock, nicely done. Nimble. Sends it in the direction of Cruiser. Chaplin used his body. Vickery goes after the footy. Terrific by Robinson. Well done by Deledio. Chaplin, little 1-2 with Deledio. Caught that!
It's a brilliant kick. Conker's hurt here. He's in a bit of trouble. There's a brilliant kick to Revolt, wasn't it, from Deledio? And that's just lazy by Jack. He's on the back foot.
Bruce, you mentioned Conker then. Looks like he's done his hamstring, which would be a big blow so early on the piece. You can just see him pull up there, left hamstring up high. That's going to be a big, big blow for the Tigers.
Massive. His second half of the season's been outstanding. He's a high draft pick, so tucks the sub. So plays a similar role, tucked around here. Carlton gives to Tui. Tui's had a shaky start, but one thing he can do is kick a footy, and they've got to panic. Betts when he should have gone. He's waited and waited. He's caressed it a bit, but oh, that's awful, Eddie. That really is bad play. Foster cuts it off. That really is a killer.
Grigg, Loston runs on energetically. Martin putting a lot of it across the ground. King, whoops, he dropped it, and the man coming at him just prepared to corral him, but then he's too nimble, runs away from Henderson. Kicks inside the forward 50. Up in front, Edwards, off hands Jackson. Trying to go with him, McGuinness. Still Jackson, traps it to his own advantage under pressure. McGuinness got him down, picked up by Edwards. Has another shot. And puts it out of bounds on the full in the opposite pocket. Needs to be careful.
Straight away, the Richmond sub has been activated. They know that Conker's done the hammy. No point waiting. They've got Shane Tuck into the game.
Lingy, I'm just going to jump on you. Doc Larkins from 3AW. Tell us, mate.
Yeah, season over for Conker anyway. Upper third hamstring, a very high-grade one. As Lingy said, sub straight away, but he won't play again for the next month, and that's season over.
Thanks, Doc. So Doc Larkins from 3AW. Thank you, Lingy, as well. So Deledio, was it out? Boundary throwing. So Conker gone. I mean, that's just shattering for the kid, isn't it?
It is. It's really disappointing. But, I mean, this is what the sub's designed to do. It's designed to keep it a level playing field now that both teams have three rotations.
Of course, Carlton lost a man before the game. They were able to replace him, though. And Mick Malthouse talked about good tackle on Garlick. On Curnow, I should say. Kick forward by Murphy. Good mark taken by Betts. And Mick talks about McLean having it before rather than the first few minutes, which has happened with Conker. So Eddie Betts a moment ago, it was like he was blinded by the lights, wasn't it? He just absolutely butchered an opportunity.
This could put Carlton in front, obviously. After 12 inside 50 to Richmond, only 3 to Carlton. They just haven't been able to get it on the scoreboard, the Tigers.
He's a good kick, I reckon, Betts. Just keep going away, so they're behind.
You were right the first time, Bruce. They should have run on, carried the ball.
Oh, they had a paddock, didn't they?
Yeah. Seemed self-evident. So Conker out, not only for the day, but as he heard the dog say, for the season. Here's Cochin. Goes to the boundary line, out on the full as a touch now. So as a result, Murphy anxious to bring it back in quickly. Goes down towards the pocket, Betts getting across and doing very nicely. Hooley. And puts it across the line and out of bounds.
Strange kick by Murphy, because even if the mark was taken, it was on the boundary line. Why wouldn't you kick to the top of the square or have a shot?
Or even have a shot. It's a cute angle, but it's a very round field. He had plenty of goal face from that angle.
Chaplin just fending off, did it pretty well.
And block.
Jackson. Simpson versus Grimes. Well done, both of them. Grimes hasn't played a lot of footy. They like him a lot. Did they get into his back? Well, Waite's over him. He's gone. Free kick, Carlton. Oh, 50.
Go through.
Not 50, okay.
Gee, Waite did well not to get into his back.
You got to knock it out. There's 2 Richmond players holding in. You got to knock it out.
Yeah, he did, Dennis. I thought it was really well umpired there. It could have been quite easy to get sucked in and play the first free kick, but I thought the umpire did quite well. He did enough there to stay off his back.
That's not dragging the ball in, though. Then I don't know how. The prior opportunity, if you drag the ball in and you don't get it out, it's automatically against you. But I didn't see him drag it in. They just all then just fell on him.
So Jared Waite swung forward today. That's a great kick. The Blues are in front. He's one of those guys, Wayne. I love the idea of taking him forward for the first time. He's a good first upper. He's one of those guys. He's that sort of guy. I reckon he gets stale. His consistency's been his problem. I know he's had injuries, but I love the idea of him going forward today. He could kick a bag, I reckon.
That's been the value of having Waite and Henderson. They're both competent forward, competent big defenders. You can swap them over.
Great start by the Blues. Exactly what they needed to do. They weathered the early storm from Richmond. They've now kicked the second goal. You can see how happy Jared Waite is there. He knows what that means. Just makes the Richmond players get a little bit nervous because of their good start.
Cochin out of the middle, inside 50s, 12-3, Tigers way. But the Blues making them count. Tuck the veteran, no way through. Gibbs smothered. Walker in trouble, stolen by King. Arches the back, slides to the pocket, pulls it back across. Mark taken by Pettit. Pettit is just about 15 metres out of that.
It was a really clever kick from King. You can see Pettit had the advantage. He was calling it advantage side, and the kick was weighted perfectly, allowed him to nudge his man under the ball. Now just needs to go back and convert.
Fine art now to hold your opponent under the ball without getting the hands in the back and the free kick against.
Should kick it. And it puts a throw. Well, they respond quickly, but they can't be happy with this, the Tigers, because they're dominating the game, creating a lot of chances. But Carlton, so dangerous when they go forward. And Carlton have looked the more nervous side to me. Their ball use in midfield has been terrible, going down towards their half-forward line in particular. But despite all of that, they're just 2 points off the pace.
He's a good little forward, Jake King. He's a real little worker. Pettit took the mark. He's actually on Andrew Walker in general matchup at the moment, Jake. So that's an interesting one from Carlton's point of view.
So the Tigers are dominating all the numbers, but the scoreboard's close. Robinson's kicked forward. Chaplin. Warnock's been really important early. So he's had 2 scoring shots, Warnock. Hadn't kicked a goal this season before today when he got the first. Admittedly, this is just his 11th game, but he's been very good early.
Bruce, that's got to be a worry for Richmond. That's 4 entries inside 50 now for Carlton, and they've scored all 4 times. They want to fix that one up pretty quickly.
That's a good kick coming out, Lingy. That's Deledio to Marich. So they'll get out here. Marich goes short. Pettit. So Pettit, another one of these recruited players who's ex-Demon he was. Had a shocking injury, of course. Gee, Martin, that's a brilliant kick to Morrison. Now they set up and spread.
There's Rance running. One bounce. Down towards half forward, his second bounce. Waite is closing. Sends it inside the forward 50. That was beautiful. And Newman now. The fairy tale. Number 1 is the fairy tale. And he will kick a goal from right on the 50. Don't put this beyond him. His first possession. This could be something. First, wait for the noise. If he gets it. Kick is on the way. Forget the noise. Slides it across the face. Big leap down there by Henderson. Plays it against the post.
Nick, just watching Rance run off there for the second time. You've played on him. I know we talked about him pre-match. He's a problem for a forward, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Well, he's a great defender and offers a lot going the other way. So you need to get him in situations where he has to defend.
Grigg and Deledio together.
Take the rebound away from him, Bruce.
Well, he's been important. Eddie Grigg, of course, ex-Blue, who played final for the Carlton, just the one. So he's one of the 4 players who have actually played a final before today, all for other clubs. There's Grigg switching it wide. Revolt waiting, but in the end it was Walker to Armfield. Cruiser, that big belt only as far as Chaplin. Deledio back to Rance again.
For the centre square, not a telling kick. Grimes on the end of it. Feeds it back. Martin lowers the eyes. Well done. Missed by Tuck. Working behind his king. Stumbled. Socked away by Garlett. Into a dangerous zone. He goes back and cleans up his own mess. Walker close to the boundary line. Drives around the outer side. Cochin goes back. Curnow over the top. His shadow. And he puts it out of bounds.
We've seen a few times the kickers come into the Richmond forward line. It's either been Rance or Chaplin who have been by themselves. Their ability to pick the ball up and exit cleanly off half-back. Carlton need to engage the defenders more.
Cruiser just won the tap over the top. Grigg did well. Newman on the right side for him being a left footer. Pettit versus Tui, and then Tui belting towards the line. Revolt played it brilliantly. Martin again. High kick to full forward. Dangerous spot. Henderson and Vickery. So Martin's been very lively.
Looks dangerous anywhere now near the 50-metre line. He's got the penetration. He can kick the ball off that one step really powerfully. So really dangerous across that half-forward line.
That was King with a high ball in. Just saw Judd a moment ago. Quiet start for him.
Cruiser over the top, knocks it down. Robinson meeting the sandwich there. Tuck hurriedly around the corner. Hot one. Goes down towards full forward. King in the action. Well done, Yaron. Comes away nicely and cleanly. Sends it up towards the wing. Rance again. Had it knocked away by White. He's got a bit of a license today, Rance. Marriage across the ground. Cooley with one his left side. And there's space out there to lead into. King is saying go back to our broadcast side. Not sure that was the thing to do. Deledio. Maybe it was. Gloston's got it now, about 75 metres out. Martin offers short. That's ignored. Tigers by 2 points. Gloston just setting it up towards the pocket. Revolt. Up he goes. Couldn't take the mark. Falls in front. Jackson runs back inside the 50. Lines up. Slides it across the face of goal. Vickery. Well done, Cruiser. Big man that time. Not trying to outmark Vickery. Just putting the fist in. As Bruce said, he should have done that the first time.
I don't think he'll be making that mistake again, Dennis. I reckon Mick would have got the message to him. When you're behind, just punch the thing.
He got back quickly, Cruiser, then to try and take the mark. Bell. Good running by Bell. He got a big goal last week, of course, against Port Adelaide. High ball. Oh, well done. Started well, Deledio. To Hawley. So Carlton really on the back foot here. They're defending. It's, their whole mindset's containment at the moment, isn't it? It's a bit like the old rope-a-dope. Floston using Martin, running hard. A second bounce.
Oh! Robinson.
Has he done a hamstring?
I reckon.
So now he would have been here for the kick, Robinson, and he's left the ground. They had no one to kick to. Now Betts is quick. He's very quick. Oh! Floston's free kick.
Understandable you can't hear, but
50 metres. It's your free kick for high. You know, the top of him.
couldn't have thought they were going to get it free.
Bring it back here. Where's the footy?
Let's even it up. 2 hamstrings, 1 for each team.
It's okay.
Gee, Carlton haven't had much luck, have they? McLean and Robinson.
It's 50 metres.
And they paid 50 against Spence here because Eddie's saying I couldn't hear.
I believe you.
I think he's probably right, but the umpire can't take the risk that he deliberately didn't hear.
The whistle 3 times.
Then the explanation, I said it 3 times.
Stay
But
clear now, guys. Stay clear.
Here's Vlauston playing a game at the moment. Well, it doesn't really have an opponent. Here's Judd coming away from half-back. Runs outside the defensive 50. Goes for distance. Rance in a lot of the football and again. Reagan went to ground. Not so Rance. Deledio. Rance cruising past. Wanted it back. Doesn't get it. Tuck stands his ground. That was a good mark under duress. Warnock coming up hard.
Time back on.
Thanks to 3RW. Let's go down to the doc to tell us what he's made of that injury to Robinson, who just left the ground.
Oh, well, yes, Dennis, it might just be a day for hamstrings because he was just flat out in pursuit of Dusty Martin and he pulled up again. Not as dramatic as the Conker hamstring from Richmond, but Robinson downstairs having a tight hamstring assessed has probably gone for the day.
Thanks, Andrew.
thanks for that, Doc. So the sub will be activated for both teams in the opening term. Edwards' kick, Pettit, free kick. It's been good, Pettit. So Edwards takes the advantage. Cochin clever, played it well, couldn't quite get it in. Picked it up brilliantly, Cochin. Uses Grimes, can't quite break the tackle. Oh, Jakey King did it brilliantly and then spun and then gets collared. Ball not coming out. Yes, it is now. Ball up.
Bruce, you mentioned that sub, Mick Malthouse straight down here just talking to Troy Menzel. The man who's probably going to be subbed onto the ground. He's now talking to Bryce Gibbs, but just wanting to get in the young fellas here.
Spring Hill, Jake. Hurried kick, not 15. Walker out of the congestion. Drives it straight up the middle. Warnock was there. Knocked away by Chaplin. Taken by Simpson. Run down brilliantly by Newman holding the ball. Another chance for the fairy tale.
In a couple of these, Carlton have been so much, maybe just because the ball's been in Richmond's forward half, but Carlton, when they do get out, have gone to the open forward line and look dangerous. So Richmond are just bombarding their forward area, but it's so congested when it gets there.
This will take his best. Man on the mark. 5 metres behind the 50. Chris Newman. Kicks from 55. It's working back. Has it got the carry? Not quite. Still a live ball down in front of the pack. Walker picked up by Tui. Walker's still a chance. Dragged down. Cochin, wonderful tackle. Crashing into the pack was Cruiser. Now a chance for Tuck. Tries to burrow it out. Curno's in there. Cruiser had his hands on it. Opportunity from Edwards. Gave it across to Jackson to Cochin. Cochin snaps. Oh, that's a beauty. Cochin out of the pocket.
You feel like they really needed that one, don't you? They absolutely dominated the first quarter. Now they'll go in 9 or better in front. That was an important one for the Tigers.
Do you think the Carlton have deliberately set up to try and get real heavy numbers into their back half just in this early part of the game? Because there's a bit of that rope-a-dope look. They think, well, we're making it difficult for Richmond to score, but gee, it's going to be hard for us to kick a score on the way out.
I think they're trying to absorb, to be honest, and stay with them.
Maybe that was the deliberate plan going in.
And maybe it's the amigos late that will run into an open forward line. Who knows? But
what's their plans?
Yeah. But that was massive, as Dennis said, and Rui said as well. I mean, Cochin, the captain, snapping. So Carlton get a chance here. Gibbs, awful looking kick. Wake got a bad bounce. Rance has had a wonderful opening term. Judd trying to get free. Doesn't look fit, Juddy, to be truthful. Rance, Yaron, Jackson, who was important a moment ago. Jackson, that's out on the full. Carlton get one last roll of the dice. Cruz is in trouble.
Deliberate.
Well, they're going left, right and centre. So Cruz is going down into the rooms. So to the Blues, they got one chance. McGuinness, who came in for McLean. Again, they hug the line. And a boundary throw in. So Robinson, we think's done for the day. Cruiser goes down. McLean before the match. Conker's gone for Richmond. It's a war of attrition already before close, well, at least 90,000, you would think. Murphy, can he do what Cochin did? He won't. And that's the first quarter. And the Tigers lead by 9 points. Is that paid?
That's paid.
So it's a point. So they lead by 8 points. It's 3 goals 5 to 2 goals 3. It's been an explosive opening. There have been a lot of injuries in the last 35 minutes. One before the match started. and 3 in that first term. 23-15 at quarter time.
But there wasn't a whole lot of them that were really really effectively penetrating because they were going into such a confined, crowded area.
Second term, Tigers on top, lead it by 8. Should be more. And by Nichols, not so good. We'll do it again. We've lost a second. That's better. Warnock, Murphy, Warnock. It's been good. Morris dropped the mark. Oh, good tackle laid by White. Ball jarred out of there. Chaplin slams it forward. Well done by Jackson to Hooley on the burst. Goes down towards half court. Now Vickery are taken off back towards goal. Henderson didn't go with it.
Just the wrong angle for a left footer where Vickery actually led to be truthful.
Yeah, but he had to kick the ball about 80 metres to get to him. You've got to get to where the teammate can actually reach you.
And as I said, I thought he went the wrong angle for him to be.
Well, that's a great art of forward play. You've got to try and make the kick as easy for your teammate as possible.
So Judd, Dygan got it from Gibbs, and that's a wobbly floater that falls into Garlett's hands. So just untidy by the Tigers. Morris dropped one, but they recovered, and then Hooley, who's normally so good, coughs it up. Judd and Gibbs get involved, and Garlett. You just feel the Amigos are going to have to kick goals today, just the way we saw that opening term. Garlett's the leading goal kicker at the club this year, over 40 goals. Is it going away? It's a big miss. Gee, they just hurt, don't they? I mean, Collingwood last night, I mean, Sidebottom had a shot from about there to really give them a bit of breathing space late, didn't they?
The kicking's been poor, Carlton. Elidio to himself, runs to the pocket, drives it towards the outer side. Vickery in front, Mark taken at the back by Henderson. Pack collapsed. Henderson having a fine season, re-signed with the Blues. Just gives it away. Chaplin, great acquisition. Goes to the pocket, and Hooley bearing down is Betts, who played it pretty well. Hooley tackled by Betts. The ball not coming out. This will be a tough call if he knocks him off the Tiger player, and he has. I don't think so.
I hope we don't continue with that interpretation of holding the ball. I mean, the guy's got to have prior opportunity. He didn't dive on the footy.
He didn't want it, really. It bounced back to him, didn't it? That's a tough call.
You can see there, Dennis, both Cruiser and Mitch Robinson look like they're going to go back on the ground, so they must be all right. They're probably going to test it out. It's a big elimination final, of course. Nothing to play for next week if they don't get the win, so they're going to try it.
Good news. Betts inside the 50. Kick is on the way. He's judged it to a nicety. Centimetre perfect.
Been waiting for that, Den, for a while.
Well, that little bit of good fortune, a couple of, I think, are very contentious holding the ball decisions. One Wade got the goal, one Betts has got the goal. Very handy to get a couple in those kind of absolute 50-50 umpiring decisions there.
It was a great effort initially, kept by Betts coming back with the fly. That's what created the free kick.
So here's Waiting Rance a moment ago. So Jared swinging the arm a bit there. Warnock. Jackson having a career best season. Jack Revolt petted. Slips it out cleverly. Martin looks up. Good kick to Vickery. Got it. Well played. Just protected his space. Vickery is a giant. I mean, Henderson's no small guy, but Vickery's got him well and truly covered height-wise. It's a lovely kick, isn't it?
Beautiful kick. That's what you want as a forward. Just the ability to run in, launch at the ball, especially for a guy of Vickery's size. Pretty hard to defend.
He's got no chance of reaching the footy, has he, Henderson?
He's kicked 9 goals in his last 3 matches coming into today, Vickery, so he's been really ticking it over. Dennison mentioned he kicked 26 for the season after his first. So this for a second goal for Vickery. Looks good. So he's been important, hasn't he? Really important early. And it does beg the question about your cousin, Jack Revolt. I mean, just the big change in the focus. I mean, he's playing almost as a half-forward today, isn't he, rather than as a full-forward?
He is, and it's exactly what he did round one. He got right up the ground. Jamison's clearly their best defender one-on-one. He's great on the lead. He's great in the air. So if you can eliminate him, take him out of the play, it opens a door. We saw Edwards really dominate the first quarter, and Vickery's on fire, kicked 2 already.
So he's their target at the moment, isn't he, Vickery?
Yeah, your second ruckman got a couple of goals. I mean, if you can get 3 or 4 goals out of your forward who fills in as your second ruck, incredibly valuable.
Jack was the target last time they met. He had Bootsma. High ball from Armfield. Hangs a long time in the air. Chaplin got a hand to it. Rance taken high. He'll get the free kick. He's been very good.
Second one, he did.
He had to take a risk this afternoon, pushing up the ground. Feelers to a fault. Sends it out wide. Marriage launches himself. Warnock, very tall man, got a fist on it. Robinson passes a fitness test. It falls to Bell at close quarters. Crashed it at Hooley. Revolt over the top, lost and loving this situation. Running from half-back. Pettit's got it. Squares the ball. Getting some space on the outer side is Newman. Scotland stayed off him.
50 metres.
50 metres off the ball.
High contact, 50 metres.
Jack's down. Well, that's huge. This is Newman's 3rd deliberate shot at goal. And he's well inside the 50.
It's a block anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's a block anyway. But it doesn't matter. You've blocked it. He's allowed to run. KG's on 70. It doesn't matter. He's allowed to run forward with the play. I'm not allowed to stop and hold on ground. No,
He held his ground, Simpson. It wasn't exactly he ran at him.
Time back on.
I'd like to get one of those every time it happens.
Yeah. Chris has. Kicks from 49. And finally, he's found range. Number 1. Well, look at that.
It's a sensational shot, isn't it? Look at that crowd. Oh, that's a big blow, isn't it? A 50-metre penalty on centre wing.
And it certainly blocked his path, but it wasn't like a heavy block. He just held his ground. It wasn't as if he ran and picked him off with, with a heavy shepherd off the ball.
So the favourite son, Chris Newman, on the scoreboard in the final. 233rd game. First final, and this is the first time really the Tigers have made a move on the scoreboard. They've got a little bit of breathing space. Carlton need to respond. Bell getting forward. Morris, hands and knees. Robinson back out there. Marriage. Tucker's on the ground because of Conker. Murphy shuffling forward. Grimes. Scotland hard at him. Grigg on the left. Kicks to centre wing. Edwards has been terrific.
Holding his arm.
He's been a problem, Edwards.
He's your own player. Come around to me. 50 metres. Holding off the ball against Walker. 50 metres. No, 50 metres against you.
So there you go again. You heard the umpire. 50 metres against Walker holding off the ball. So Simpson and Walker, the 2 half-backs, that have provided so much run this year, have, well, given 2 pretty soft free kicks away. Let's have a look. Middle of the screen. There we go. Well. Gee, just held his jumper for a moment.
2 metres push
Nick,
out,
what did you say before? You'd love to get one of those every time? Well, same again. That was very, very soft.
Technically it's there, but...
Well, this is undisciplined by Carlton anyway, one by the other. So Edwards has missed a couple of shots. But not this time. And they're out to a 3-goal lead here off the back of 2 50-metre penalties. Gee, they're coach killers. I mean, it must be hard to maintain your composure as a coach right now.
They're small mistakes, but they're mistakes. They're things that are happening probably all over the field, but the umpires have seen these 2 and chosen to act with as many similar incidents that are not being free-kicked.
So here's the first of them. You watch Simpson in the middle, just block Jack
Just on his ground, really.
And here's Walker just grabbing, holding the jumper on the flank there. There it is.
Problem is they're out in the open spaces, aren't they? And the umpires spot them. Meanwhile, Vickery, Deledio, and the tails are up for the Tigers. Goes inside the forward 50. Well played by Newman. Wins a 50-50 ball, wheels around, looks back towards the middle. Got the clearance too. Tuck can go to the square. Went the wrong way, but he's going to get a free kick. Tuck's going to get a free kick. Edwards was on in the square. Tuck gave it towards the pocket. Steve Kernahan can feel it slipping away, and so too Michael Malthouse. Regardless of the result.
It was against Andrew Walker for holding.
That'll be an interesting press conference.
No, just holding his arm.
Sticks. One of the greats. No mood for flattery at the moment, though, so I'll stop. Here's Tuck. 30 metres out. Kick is on the way, and he puts it through.
Michael Tuck, what Brady father, of course, is Michael Tuck. Played 400 games, and his mother is Faye Ablett, who's the sister of Gary Ablett Senior. So he's got pretty good bloodlines.
You'd buy him if he was in the Ulick, so wouldn't you?
He has got some good bloodlines, Shane Tuck.
Well, this son and father have played 599 games between them. 426 to this man, 11 grand finals the record, 7 premierships, and I think 39 finals in total.
Just amazing longevity and performance, sustained excellence.
And you played a lot with him, Lee, in that era. So Richmond have made a mighty move here. This will really test Carlton. They've dodged some bullets so far this year. Pettit to Ellis. Back to Jack Revolt. Still with Revolt. On the left, goes to full forward. Edwards a chance. Edwards a big chance.
McGuinness didn't defend him at all.
Well, you've got to get a body in there, don't you?
That's what I mean.
Well, Edwards has had a spectacular day. He slipped Tui early, outmarked Tui there. He took that one. He got a 50-metre penalty earlier. He's been brilliant, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. He's been a bit of that X factor. He's the one forward for Richmond who really presents hard at the ball. Just a bonus that he's been able to take these contested marks. Poor defence from the Carlton.
Didn't play in the first 9 games this year. He wasn't in their team. Got some late reprieves. Kicked 4 and 5 goals in the last 2 minor round games. And here he's missed. So he should have had at least 3 goals so far. He's got 1.
I'm sure the message will go out to young Andrew McGuinness, like, make sure you got body on him. Just don't let him take an uncontested mark 20 metres from goal.
Tui almost runs himself into trouble. Drives it towards the outer side. Bell's in front, stretching. Well done by Edwards. Got it on the deck. Tries to go back to Tuck. He fell on top of the footy. Simpson went in. Judd, who's been quiet. Down goes Deledio. Still had it when he hit the deck. Umpire lets them play and now whistles it up. So starting the day, Aaron Edwards 9 goals in the last 2 games. He managed to go on this ground for the West Coast Eagles. Round 1 of 05 against the Tigers. And I remember he did 2 goals in the opening term. He was on fire that day early as well. Can he be thwarted? Hand pass came across from Yarran to Walker. And now it's Henderson.
And he had to go backwards because there's no one forward to kick it to. And now Henderson, that's a good kick to the pocket. And well done by Waite, having a victory there on Rance.
Bruce, you called it perfectly there, Andrew Walker. Great composure. Instead of just blazing away to the Richmond defenders, just went backwards to Henderson, allowed Waite to push forward and get into a position to take the mark. Really good composure.
They need something special from one player today. You feel like someone just has to put their hand up in there. Waite's capable, I think, of doing something.
There's only that 10 inside 50, so they're just not getting in their goal-scoring area. They've got to make every opportunity when they get there.
Let's see if he can do that, and he's kicked a goal. So Betts and Waite have kicked big goals against the flow. He's got 2. Well, he's their chance, I reckon, up forward at the moment. He's a great one-on-one player. Even against Rance, you'd give him a chance, wouldn't you?
Well, Rance is playing a great game, and he actually played it really well on that occasion. You could see he took the space away from Waite that he wanted to come into to lead. It was just a fantastic kick from Henderson to get it over the back. Waite had prime position, body him out of the way, and was able to convert. So, yeah, Waite's got the 2, but Rance is playing a great game.
taking him back to full forward. Wait basically playing as full forward now.
Tigers by 20. And the next goal, very important either way. Marriage had to wait. Still won it down. Cotchin taken high. Advantage. No. Stop. Avan, stop. It'll come back to Cotchin.
Around your mark, Trent. Back around your mark,
Delusions of
please.
adequacy momentarily. He flirted with the idea of going to Big Avan. Here's Cotchin. Runs wide of the mark. Down towards Martin. Martin out muscles his opponent. Finds it on the numbers. They stayed off him. Lines up and kicks a goal. Too easy.
He could play as a forward, Martin, I reckon. I mean, he could play half forward and kick 35 goals in a year. He's a bit like Dane Swan, I reckon. He's got a similar physique, and he's so strong, isn't he?
Yep. Got the tats.
Adelaide used to send Rashudo forward. He's in that sort of mould, isn't he? Big, strong, powerful legs.
You were mentioning a bit similar to Rashudo and Swan, able to go forward.
Yeah, well, he's just got the size about him, doesn't he? He's strong overhead. His ability to shake his man off in that contest and then finish was first class.
So Richmond well on top. Gibbs, Judd gets it forward. Murphy just overran it. Burl overruns it. Grimes and Murphy. It eludes Armfield. Jackson, good hands. Great hands. Newman has been terrific. Ellis was wonderful. Tuck, they barge it forward. Armfield's back turn. Tui arches the back. A little kick by Newman. Important. Was it a Martin? Didn't go 15, obviously. Jamison held up, ball up. That just was great Tiger footy. And here's Martin's reaction. So after the goal, well, that'll be talked about, I'm sure.
I'm not sure I know what it means. There goes Morris. Guinness head down, going nowhere. They battle on the logo and the umpire will ball it up. Martin hobbling off. That's no good.
Chris Newman it is, Dennis.
Oh, sorry.
He hobbled off. He looks okay. He's just walking it out. Could be a corky. I'll keep a close eye on it, but fingers crossed he's all good for the Tigers.
Martin sitting behind him, but it was Newman who we were interested in. Rance does well. Bell, ditto. Hand pass comes across now, and the kick goes in from Curnow. Long ball towards full forward. Dygan involved, but nothing much happening on the forward line just for the present. Again, kamikaze efforts by the Tigers. Doing well, Cotchin got boot to ball. In trouble, Murphy rolls out the back. Bell spins out of one would-be tackle. Goes down, though. Delidio got him. Murphy creates his own space. Pulls it back towards full forward. Ellis spoiled by his teammate Chaplin. As a result, Hooley's got a problem. He accepted the tackle, and the umpire will ball it up.
Just slightly nervy there, the Tigers, weren't they, with that one coming in? So Carlton pressing here, but they're 4 goals behind. Morris was touched. Armfield, can he get something on it? Tui, good smother from Revolt. Back to Jamison, did well, Jamison. Handball, Bell, getting busy, Bell. Held up in the tackle by Delidio. Well played by Yaron. Robinson, goal! Well done, the Blues. There's a bit of fight in them right now. That's good. I mean, they had to get their hands dirty, didn't they? Right there and then, and they did.
Had to keep the ball in the area where there wasn't any easy kicks. No uncontested possessions in there. It was a question, could you actually get one? And Scunja shot at goal. Robinson got it after a lot of ball, a lot of players touched it.
The bloke that I reckon he's not many times. I reckon Bill's just having a bit of a presence. Big body.
Yep.
I think he's done his ankle, Dennis, by the look at Newman. Look at that. Wow.
Oof, nasty angle.
Seen worse, but hopefully he can get back out there. Play restarts. Warnock up very high, hooks it down. Socket off the ground there by Cotchin. Robinson, good last goal. Cotchin came again. Wonderful second effort by both those players. Cotchin flings it out of there. Scotland's got it. But it got him. Curnow confronted. Put down strongly too. McGuinness meantime. Walker, hard against the boundary line, Walker. Kicks beyond the wing. Wonderful carriage, Loston. He knew they were coming up.
he's
This
handling the
young man,
pressure.
eh?
He's
Oh.
handling the pressure, Dennis.
I'll say. Drives it down towards half forward, hangs a long time in the air. McGuinness goes back. They met at the football. Falls to Judd. Arches the back. Slides a hand post back inside the defensive 50. Scotland goes over the top and Simpson's got it now.
They've got the Lucy here if they can get it to Murphy, but well done by the Tigers. It was Ellis that got back, or rather Grigg that got back. So Betts running and carrying, kicking to half forward. Garland, does he get there? He tries to. They want it out of bounds here. Rance got back. Wade overran it. Rance kicks it out of. They wanted it out of bounds. They got it out of bounds. By the way, Newman missed the last 3 matches with an ankle injury, so it mightn't be too good for him because that's the injury that kept him out late in the year. Scotland back in the team. Just feel like Carlton have lifted here. So Scotland with a bit of an up and under.
Some tall timber at the fall. The short man comes away with it though. King, Pettit, Hooley. King again. Through the centre square, jams it forward. Revolt's got it now alongside the centre circles. McGuinness inside the speed. It's another 50. Oh, McGuinness just wasn't tuned in there.
You have to run out of the area. If you get caught in the area, you've got to get out of the area. And he just sort of ran adjacent. We'll see it from behind. I mean, he put his arm up. That was his problem. If he hadn't put his arm up, he would have just drifted out of the area. The umpire's key is if a player puts his arm up as if it's stopping the player going sideways, they are likely to penalise them for encroaching in that protected area.
We were told they practice that at training players, putting the hand up.
Yeah.
That'll be an interesting exercise to watch. Do a lot of training and watch him do that. There goes the kick from Revolt. He puts it through. Said that before. So this margin, right on the edge, the 26. They're back there again. They need the next one. And over 30, suddenly it gets pretty tough for Carlton. Carlton, in fairness, not playing well enough at the present time, but taking more of their opportunities. But weight of numbers certainly running now with this team.
Their third 50-metre goal, though, you're not going to get too many of those. That's an enormous quota for one half of footy.
What a great scene it is. The city, the big stadium, full house, Tigers, drought with finals with a lead. Gibbs, well done, Judd, terrific mark. He's got to play the percentages today, Juddy. Not a great kick. Kerno, Jackson, Pearl. I've liked what he's done in the last few minutes, boundary throw-in. Just feel at the moment they've got to keep getting the next goal. Dennis summed it up perfectly. 26 points. Yep, you can almost work with that, but another one, you're in trouble. Newman back out there. That's great. Deledio. Oh, Robinson brought him down. Deledio lucky there in the end, and then getting it away. Grimes, boundary throw-in. That's a good result for the Blues.
This is what they need. They need to be able to lock the ball in and sustain some pressure, put Richmond under the same sort of pressure that Carlton have been feeling.
Boundary throw in then. Cruiser works in front. Marriage over the top. Gibbs, haven't called his name often enough. Gives it back to Tui. Tui the kick. Floats towards the opposite pocket and bounces out of bounds. Gibbs has had 9. Very important player to the Blues. Boundary throw in. Marriage in front. Swung at it. Missed it. Cochin like a basketballer. Dribbling. Rance back to Cochin. Robinson's in there. Over the top, Kerno. Ball up.
Test of your defensive structure. A lot of players in that part of the ground, but it's obviously just so important for Richmond that they don't give Carlton a shot at goal.
Cruiser probably won the tap, and now we'll have a boundary throw-in.
And this is good. Repeat stoppages in your forward line. It gives you more opportunities for a Richmond player to make a mistake and provide an opportunity to have a shot at goal.
See if they can create something here, Carlton. Have to take their chances. It was a good tap by Cruiser, but straight to Grigg. Bouncing ball. Yaron decided to tap it to Tui. All the numbers with the Tigers for the moment. Newman has been really good. Tapping forward. Jamison held up. Baller.
And Mick would have hated that. Grab hold of the ball, take possession, and then do something with it. I don't think he'd like players tapping the ball like that.
So Yaron trying to finesse in heavy traffic. Not easy to do. Cruiser doing it himself. Has an airy. Scotland was one of the men in there. Martin involved as well. Ball coming out, I think it was Gibbs, it was. Still not out, Pettit gets it to Jackson, now it's out.
Jackson to Martin. Slips a hand pass wide. Edwards to Cochin. And it's Revolt. Well, reverse numerical attack, it's hard to stop. Well done. Martin loops it across towards Hooley. Hooley goes long down towards full forward. Bounces through for a behind. Well, let's get the feeling at the moment. Carlton on borrowed time.
And they don't have a full complement, of course. They lost McLean before the game. You don't feel like Robinson and... No, he did kick a goal. Robinson and Cruiser both had a few problems. Judd not really moving that well. He's doing what he can do. Of course, Conker off for Richmond. So just the high ball wide. Chaplin front spot. Murphy's had a quieter second term after a productive opening one.
It's an amazing game. It's almost half-time, and Carlton have only had 112 disposals. That's unbelievable. 300 is a late game, so they're a mile below what you would normally get.
So Cruiser's free kick.
So Cruiser, left half back, goes up towards the wing. Again, butchered it. Chaplin missed it. Rance under pressure around the corner. Chopped off by Gibbs, centering kick. Bell's got it now. Sweeps it inside. Curnow on the attack. Running off Cochin. Good policy. Kicks it down towards the pocket. Betts. Armfield is on for a longer one. Goes short to Dygan. Well, Dygan, forgotten for so long. A chance to kick a very important goal here.
They're just all counter-punching goals, aren't they? They're all just balls that every now and again they bounce out of the back half Richmond's forward line, Carlton, and then create the odd scoring shot.
Nick Dygan, impressive young man. See what he can do. Kick is on the way. Well done. Puts it through. So they drag it back again.
Really has been contrasting styles. You see Richmond when they go forward, they like to link up with hands, short kicks, maintain possession. Carlton are just whacking it forward and hoping that someone can get on the end of it. Fortunately, Betts did so on that occasion. I think that reflects the low possession count you're talking about, Lee, 118.
Yeah, they're not distributing and linking up and not playing possession footy, that's for sure. Not getting much of it.
Unlikely goal scorers Dygan and Warnock today. First goals for the season for both. I mean, admittedly, Dygan played very little footage. It's his fourth game. Getting over the top, Warnock. Bell breaking the tackle. Doesn't get a great kick away. Waite versus Rance. Rance almost. Waite. How does the umpire call it? He calls it all square. Waite's filthy on it. He's still arguing. Ball coming back. Edwards chasing hard. Waite puts another tackle on. Jackson, a good one again. Revolt there. And free kick to Carlton high. I think no, Richmond. Sorry, it was the Tigers who were first in. Well, is this holding the ball?
Tried to kick.
Yep. Every day of the week.
Tried to kick.
So Revolt gets a free. Waite should have got a free a minute ago.
The umpire called that he attempted to kick it. They've given him pretty liberal leniency, I would have thought, but that was where the umpire called that decision.
Brick's got it now. Obviously wanting to slow it down, I guess that's what the signal is. Lost and loved his goal.
We need a book of signals, that we, Dennis, so we know what these signals mean. We're trying to work out, aren't we, what Dustin Martin's crossed hands means.
Yes, well, that's,
it means
that's
handcuffs of some sort, doesn't it?
Does it? Oh, there you go. Rance towards the outer side. You're up with this stuff, Lee. I'm very impressed. The ball goes out of bounds, we'll have a throw in.
I read a lot.
Well, you can work retrospectively, can't you? I mean, if things happen after a signal, but with the handcuffs, if that's what they were, into the cross buckle goes Eddie.
Well, Dylan Grimes and Eddie Betts had a bit of fun after this. You can see there. That's going on about 150 metres away from the ball.
So Judd takes the advantage. Betts got it. So they were 27 points in front of the Tigers. It's down to 21. This has been a really good 5-10 minutes by the Blues. Betts has already kicked one very, very good goal from this pocket.
Two more.
Dylan Grimes has actually been his matchup just for most of this quarter, and Grimes is normally a more key position defender. He's just been a bit slippery for him a few times, Eddie Betts.
But he gave the last one off to Geiger. He's had an important quarter, Betts. He is a very good kick for goal. And he's missed it. That was big, really big. So he's kicked 1 goal, 2 from set shots.
Inside the last 2 minutes of the opening half. Up to 20, so Carlton hanging around. Elidio to himself. Neither side grab a late goal. Forward to the pack, a chance for Shane Edwards, who's been quiet, knocked away by Bell. Boundary throw in. Clock stops at 1:45. Vast crowd, virtually full the MCG. A raucous atmosphere, unlike any we've had for an early final, I'd suggest, ever. Master of understatement will have a toss-up at right half back. Greg, the last man up. Umpire Farmer does the business. Vickery will get a free kick. So it will be the Tigers to go forward. A minute 32 remaining. And can they get a score at the other end? Short. Newman, nobody near him, can gallop away, decides against it, so maybe that tells us something. Short one to Ellis. He's at centre half back, Ellis.
For all their domination, Richmond, they're 3 goals in front, and 3 goals this quarter they got from 50-metre penalties.
Not sure, I mean, there's a minute and a half to go. I know it's late in the second quarter, but they look like they're just prepared to play the game out for the last minute or two. Both players had a chance to run through the centre square and really put the Carlton defence under pressure.
I wonder, Lee, if they're just setting up for 1 assault on goal to stop. I don't know.
I don't think they know the scores that well. I think it's more late in the quarter. It's 31 minutes on the time clock, so we'll just play a bit defensively for this last minute or so.
So Jackson down the line. Tuck came on early. Garlett, Murphy running, trying to create. Curnow was a hot footy. He takes them on. He's a bit lucky. Bell doesn't look Bell. He's very lucky. That's poor play. No peripheral vision. Now they might be in. Pettit to Tuck. Tuck to full forward. Great looking kick. He's got it. The skipper's got it.
That's the difference between now, I reckon, the average midfielder and the absolute top notcher who can go forward and one-on-one win the ball in the forward 50, and Cotton, we know, can do that. We spoke about it pre-game. Hasn't done much this year. They haven't used him in that role, but he can do it so well.
Can you imagine what the crowd are going to do in a moment if he kicks this goal on half-time? And look at the players as well. So Cotchin's kicked 2, only 4 goals this season, 2 today. And Bell, who's been good in this quarter, makes a monumental error. And Richmond, Judd, well done there. Richmond take a big lead into half-time. They've got it back to 26. It's 10-7 to 6-5 in the elimination final.
Bit of run and a bit of bounce. Scotland on the wing, I think he needs to lift. He's missed a bit of footy, but he's been a prime mover for them when they've been playing well this year.
The Tigers will love the opening goal. Stretch the margin beyond 26. It's been there a few times in the first half. Run down by Warnock. Martin finds a way through. Kick was smothered. Jackson sends it inside the forward 50. Tui missed it. Chance behind for Vickery. Applies a tackle on Tui. He needs to be careful. Big man took him down. The umpire says he tried.
Thank you. Just stand up. Yeah. Stay there, mate. Thanks.
So Walker. Edwards has been a handful. Jackson with a clearance. Doesn't quite get it in the end. Henderson almost there. Martin, so strong, Martin. Here is Scotland, who Nick spoke about. Simpson, Henderson. Henderson, normally a good kick. That's a beauty to Judd. So Judd raised his game in the second quarter, but he's not 100% fit. That was obvious coming in, but he's playing the percentages. And he's doing that just now, going down the line, cruise at the target, drive. Interesting, we noticed Simpson a moment ago was conducting the orchestra at halftime. He was the one talking to the troops. That's what Andrew Walker told us the last time they played. It was Simpson that sort of led the charge in terms of talking to the group at quarter time. So he's a real leader there. Now Gibbs is quick forward.
Towards half forward, Deledio goes back in the opposite direction, and doing nicely was White. Then slung. Robinson, bit slow to operate there. Ball rolls away from him. Still a live footy. Scotland in trouble. Newman head down, pushes it out of bounds. As I mentioned, 13 possessions for Chris Newman. Leads all Tigers. Murphy most on the ground to half-time. Tossed in, Warnock's in front, double-handed down. Scotland does well as Murphy. Well, stopped in his tracks. Ellis hammers it across to Marriage. Ineffectual tackling right there. Deledio feeds it forward. Pettit goes down towards half forward. Vickery, Ellis, runner alongside. Edwards can break a line to Vickery. Vickery goes long. It's going to land and bounce. Ow. Well, there's some holding. There's going to be a free kick to Aaron Edwards.
His arm back and he can't get to the ball to contest it.
Andrews had a tough day.
Well, we spoke about the 4 rebounding defenders. The price that you pay for that is one of them's got to play tall. In this case, it's Walker, undersized, out of position, gives away the free kick.
Clear free kick too, watching the replay.
That's it.
There's no chance of Edwards actually flying for that ball. It's a question of who'd win the foot race, and you would have thought that would have suited Walker. Edwards kicks the goal. That's the goal we were talking about. He's got 2.
So they're a bit nervous, aren't they, Carlton, down back? They've got players that, I'm not saying they panic, but they've just given away some unnecessary free kicks. Walker, he's best as a creator, a runner, a breaker of the lines, a setter-upper. They're just under the pump, aren't they? They're on the back foot. They can't afford to make mistakes, and they're making them.
Very disappointing.
Well, it's not his ideal role, Walker. Ideally, you'd love to have him high across half-back. Given Carlton's plight at the moment, they've got no choice but to roll the dice, and he's going to have to play tall for the rest of the game.
So the biggest lead of the match off the back of Cotchin's goal at half-time, and the goal there by Edwards. So Cotchin, Vickery and Edwards
Have the ball, Mark Murphy.
6 between them. 50 metres. Well, no, gee, a bit stiff there, Murphy. It was thrown to the wrong man. So Scotland gets it from Murphy. And then Scotland, well, slow kick forward, sort of set Digan up a bit. Judd back to Bell. Bell had made one horrendous mistake before half-time, but was pretty good in the second quarter. Waite did very well, claiming it. Trying to get it out, can't quite. Cruiser hooking the ball back to full forward, and well done by Morris. It's just hard work for Carlton, isn't it? Has Deledio hurt his knee there? Oh, just.
Well, seems like he's okay, but
He's taking the kick in
Play on.
to himself. Sends it outside the defensive 50 then. Edwards up in front, off hands to Bell. Hand pass was stifled. Marriage instinctively gave it. Edwards, to no one in particular. Taking a revolution was Simpson. Touched off the bit of Warnock. Cotchin, Marriage, Jackson. Jackson goes up towards the wing. Awkward half volley for Edwards. And he's pushed across the line.
You see the
interchange gates.
You see the difference between the 2 teams in that last passage of play. Carlton win the ball, try to throw it quickly on the boot. Richmond, on the other hand, link up with handballs, 1, 2, 3, and all of a sudden there's a player out and free of pressure.
Vickery won the tap. Ellis free kick. Well, should have been. Robinson, Gibbs, clever by Gibbs, keeping the ball in the field of play. Judd to swoop. Not a good handball. Deledio, Judd gets a second crack. Stains up well. Armfield, Waite. Held up firstly by Hurley. Cotchin, terrific, the captain. Gets it out of the danger zone. Vickery runs the gauntlet. Cruiser brings him down. It's still in play, so it's okay. Judd brings down his man. And what's the umpire going to do? He's going to ping somebody. Well, how can you ping anybody?
You've tried to barge through with your head down. No, hold the ball. Try to barge through, no genuine attempt.
Judd's had 4 touches and a tackle in this quarter.
Move it on, play on.
And now sets it up to full forward.
Knocking away was Greg. Over the ball, King. Reaching in is Tui. Taken front on by Chaplin.
My ball.
It's amazing, you know, there's been half a dozen holding the ball decisions and hardly any high contact ones. It's almost better off to be second in the ball with this interpretation.
Free kicks 14 to 8, favouring the Tigers, but then all the stats do. Vickery knocks it down. Robinson wheels around, misses everything. Does it stay in? Yes, it does. Out against the line, Gloston. Kicks it outside the 50, but trouble here. Yaron, 55 metres out, takes something off the kick. Gloston comes again. Martin, two youngsters combining. In trouble, Shane Edwards went to ground. Martin emerges with a full chest and bullocks his way out of the pack. And now they're away. Alistair Hawley runs through midfield. They're going back in slow motion. He kicks it down towards full forward. Tracking it back is Henderson. Oh, that was well played by Scotland to Walker.
Second time today, I reckon Hooley's wasted one going forward. He had better chances. He put the ball into a 50-50. They were on the march there. That was well done by Walker. That's a terrible kick on the back foot. Unfortunately for Carlton, it bounced in. So Nick Duigan.
Bruce, and it wasn't just the kick, it was just the intention. He went back behind the mark and just a short chip over the mark. You need to play on. Take the first option, take the game on, generate that uncontested possession.
Gee, that was funny. Tuck and Vickery went for the same hit out and hit it straight to Gibbs, who got it to Murphy to fall forward. Wait, free kick up the front, definitely, against Cochin. So Wait, he's kicked a couple. Kicked one in the first, one in the second. He's the most likely, isn't he? He's the one you feel that might get a handful of goals today. So he's got three, and Carlton are hanging around. They're fair way back though.
Yes, he and Eddie Betts. He hasn't got much of the ball, Eddie Betts. Kicked one goal too, so he's at least had a sniff at the ball, but they're the two Carlton forwards that look a chance. I mean, you've got Duigan playing defensive forward, McGuinness is just going in and out of there, and Cruz is just not finding the ball in the air at all.
They've had a lot of passengers today, Carlton, and you named a couple of them just there, Lee, but Wait, he's a fluky play, he's a streaky play, could kick six.
It was the quality of the inside 50, though. It was Mark Murphy, the ability to run and have 3 or 4 bounces, make a calculated decision and kick it to your forward's advantage. If they can get more of that, they'll impact the scoreboard.
No coincidence. Judd has lifted. There he is again, out of the middle. He's up to 15 now, on one leg, kicks inside the forward 50. Grimes, Duigan, into the path of Garlett. Garlett lines up, and he's kicked another one. They go back to back. It started in the middle. Well, champions will not be denied. And Judd is feeling it now.
Judd, so important. First time today the Blues have actually kicked consecutive goals. Look at the clearances.
It's his sixth possession for the quarter. Those centre square clearances are so critical. Go quickly into the forward line. Defence can't set up to defend it.
So they get
Judd
again. So another clearance, another Judd. But that one off the mark so quickly. It was Edwards who's had a very good match. So he's gone.
I think they've just pushed an extra man back just to try and stabilise that game a little. Seeing that Carlton have just got a couple of quick goals.
Well, they're pretty used to Carlton coming back at them this year, aren't they? It's happened twice, round 1 and more recently in round 21. So it simulate a fair bit of all this at training, and they've slowed it down.
And when the test has come in those games, they've gone rather meekly. They did win the first one by 5 points after being 7 goals up. Grimes kicks beyond the wing. Well done by Tui. destroying the contest, thumping it 20 metres away. So the Tigers would like a steadying goal. 19 points. It's 26 at half-time. Suddenly Carlton are finding the footy. Judd's finding his appetite in front of the pack there. Vickery, Curnow, Gibbs dancing through. Kicks it beyond the wing on the bounce. McGuinness, out of Garlett. Look who's cruising wide. Judd was thumped away though by Edwards. Diving in there and doing well in a tight situation was Tuck. No way through for Cochin. Well done by Gibbs. Stripped him of the ball. Judd knew where to stand. He kicks it inside the forward 50. Digan! Digan, the forgotten man, tumbling, falling, has taken the mark 25 metres out. He's kicked one.
How many times have we seen Judd find a really good 10 minutes when once formerly the Eagles, but of course Carlton in much more recent years, just to find a bit. He might be on 1.5 legs, but he has found.
Remember that final RANZ Stadium. Kick is on the way, and I tell you what, there's a revival meeting at the MCG.
Well, suddenly Digan's worth his place. I mean, he struggled, I thought, early. He got that goal when Betts gave it off to him, but Gibbs is the other guy, I reckon. Gibbs getting a bit of footy as well. I feel like he and
Gibbs and Judd.
Yeah, if Murphy, Gibbs and Judd can go for another 10 minutes, they're a chance. That's I think, going to be a key here. I mean, Judd was extraordinary against Sydney in that final. They didn't get the money in the end.
So another inside 50 for Judd. You've just got to admire the way he's adapted his game as his body's started to go on in the last few years. He's not the burst player, but, gee, he's having an influence at the moment.
Can he get it again here? Curnow trying to give it to him. Over the top, Marriage, and the umpire's going to ball it up.
It's trapped under there.
Those clearances you talked about, Rui, it's 9-2 Carlton's way this quarter. That's what's generating all the contested possession, the uncontested possessions. They've got to keep it going, keep this momentum.
So Cochin forward. Henderson normally a good user. Gives Scotland a chance. Good bounce. Scotland going to go long and hard to half forward. Wait! Yes! Not quite. He had a bit of it, didn't he? Boundary throw in. Carlton is suddenly alive.
They're getting the ball out in space now, Bruce. It's taken a half a footy, but they're finally getting some quality possessions and able to make good decisions going forward and give the forward line a chance.
13 points the margin, boundary throw in. Cruiser decisively wide of the pack. Chaplin under pressure. Bounces high. Marriage trying to force a passage. Headed over the shoulder, heard a voice. 1-1. It was muffled by the beard. Simpson smothered. Cochin's got it. Kicks beyond the wing. Edwards running out of space. It's out of bounds. We'll have a throw in. Suddenly, this game is alive. What a comeback by the Blues. On their knees, and suddenly, right in the contest, in the twinkling of an eye, Cruiser puts it down. Gibbs, he's been instrumental in all of this too. In trouble, held to him.
He's been important, Gibbs.
You mentioned that point of the Gibbs and Judd. Can they keep going for another? But that's the problem with the three small forwards. They've got a really thin midfield rotation, Carlton, so they depend on a handful more than most.
Below the knees.
Of course, Lee McLean's out of it today.
Yeah, he's one that's not there, of course.
This is a guy they'd like to get hold of the ball a bit more. Simpson now. He's kicked it wide. Asks a bit of Judd. This will stretch him. He's done well, Judd, but so's the man on him. He's taken him on. Good contest. Getting involved with Yaron. Grimes and Yaron now. Walker looks up. Cut off by McGuinness. I think it was for Cruiser. McGuinness. Now Bell's been a little slow with ball in hand. It's a long kick. Betts is lurking. Mark taken by Waite. He's becoming central to Carlton's comeback. And then Waite long to Gibbs. Oh, not yes. Mark, advantage goal. Scotland, they're coming all right. It's official. They're back in it. Well, Waite's old man played a bit against Richmond, didn't he, old Vinny?
This has got so much look at that game we spoke about in round 21. I mean, Carlton's big surge quarter was a second quarter. Meant for a quarter later, but it's the same look. All of a sudden, Richmond, who looked so good early in the game, all of a sudden lost their potency.
And remember about 10 minutes ago when they played the slow footy Richmond? In this quarter, when they played, they slowed it down.
The the mental aspect's really starting to creep into this game now. Carlton, you couldn't see at half-time where they were going to get their goals from, but they're on a roll now. They're feeling pretty good about themselves. Some doubt creeping into the young Richmond players in their first final.
7 points the difference. Murphy taken down by Vickery. Curnow brilliant. One-way traffic now. Simpson feeds it forward. Armfield finds himself in space. Sends it long down towards full forward. Betts! Oh, Betts will get a free kick. He'll get a free kick against Morris. Oh, they're coming apart at the moment, the Tigers. And that was the stat that leapt up the page, actually. When you look back at both those previous games, it was the midfielders who got the goals. They've got a dangerous forward or two this afternoon. And that could make an even bigger difference. Betts runs around and he's put it through. Unbelievable at the MCG. He's got 2. Frustration. It's spilling over in the crowd. It was a celebration at half-time. The margin was 26. And now it's backs to the wall.
They kicked 5 goals in under the last 9 minutes.
And it's all started at the centre square. They've just continually run the centre bounces. 5-1 this quarter. It all starts from here.
So Cochin, Red Warnock, best there. We saw a game 1 off that yesterday, Lee, down at Simmons Stadium, off the centre square. Good tackle, boundary throw, and the Dockers dominated there.
Yeah, so many games are. I mean, that's when the defence isn't set up. You haven't got your defensive structures in place when the ball is cleared from those centre bounces.
So Richmond led by 31 points not long ago. Carlton, this has been a great revival. Hooley. Tuck, Deledio, hooking wide to the forward pocket, hard ball, Simpson almost, Edwards, busy, back to King, back to Jackson, good looking kick off the boot, Revolt, is it out on the full? No, it is out on the full.
Hit the post.
Oh, hit the post, so.
Hit the post. Back here, Jack, back here.
So, remember those 350-metre penalties and Richmond took advantage of? Suddenly you feel like the green's turning slightly Carlton's way.
Yep. Rub of the green, and the umpire's wearing that colour. Henderson, outside the defensive 50, clever mark.
Great use of the body there, isn't it?
Well, it's not a big body. Plays on. High ball, another little body. Well done by Jackson, running with the flight of it. He may have hurt himself there. Knocked it out of bounds. Hobbled when he gets up. Immediately heads for the interchange gates. Boundary throw in. This vast crowd grabs their collective breath. In front, Marriage. He battles there with Warnock, who reaches over the top. Slapped away by Deledio. Under the pump was Edwards, coming through the veteran. Newman feeds it down towards half forward. King. Now Martin with a chance to make the play. Held up Cochin, but gets it back. Runs inside the 50, stumbles, goes to Cochin. Cochin wrong puts Henderson, and the short one to Ellis. Directly in front, 40 metres out. Well, if they ever needed a steadying goal, this young man needs to provide it. Brandon Ellis.
Ankle going over on the outside. Get in the hands of the right players, Cochin and Martin. When they were together, they just looked like they were going to be able to work their way through.
This boy kicks it a mile. Low trajectory stuff, but it's good enough. Well done, well worked. The build-up was good, and then we talked about it the other night, the lowering of the eyes. And that was important.
As Dennis said, he's a thumping kick, Ellis. Lovely temperament, second-year player. So it's been a day for ankles and hamstrings, hasn't it? Maybe a quad with McLean. So Jackson being strapped up. Had a few ankles today. Cruiser, of course, earlier. A hamstring or two with Conker and Robinson.
There goes the tape budget for the year. There's plenty of tape to try and support that ankle.
They haven't been using it in September for a while, Lee. They won't mind. Judd tried to get it out, couldn't quite. Next goal's massive now. Richmond have responded. Armfield, back to Robinson, has to backtrack, and then just kicks it as hard as he can. It wasn't a good kick. That's a good mark. That's a mark of a boy that's played a lot of footy, and Grimes is not. Only 26 games, 8 this year. They always like to have him in the team, but it's a poor kick. Wait, now Garlett's on. Can he get him? Well, it's out wide. He had to kick it wide in the end. Now Garlett, it's run away.
Again, we see Richmond, they want to slow the game down and hold the ball up. That's what got them into the trouble in the initial part of this quarter. Love to see them go back to playing the way they were in the first half.
Boundary throw in, over the top, Warnock decisively, Murphy, Scotland, quick release, Jamison takes on Shane Edwards, back to Scotland, hand passes to Murphy, 65 metres out, long down towards full forward, coming back Boston, collides with Morris, Pettit got the crumb, across it came to Rance to the outer side, taken by Grigg, he's a left footer, he breaks to left half back, goes looking for Edwards on the stretch, knocked away by McGuinness, one of his few victories, and he puts the ball out of bounds.
That wouldn't happen in the first quarter. Edwards would have taken the mark and McGuinness would have been trailing. It was actually Tui early, wasn't it, against him? So good signs everywhere here for the Blues. You feel they are in it for the long haul now. Well done, Cruiser. Robinson. Again, a hacking ball forward. Dygan's been important with a couple of goals. Garlett toe poking. Wait. Dygan fumbled, but cooks the ball back. And Murphy waiting. Not a bad result for the Blues in the end. Waite's the lively one, though, isn't he? He's everywhere at the moment. Yeah, when he's on, he's a really good quality forward. He's been inconsistent, injured a lot, but he has a very lively, good, hard-running marking player when he's on.
Warnock angles it for Judd. Judd runs onto it. Hand passes back towards the middle. In hope. Clutching. Finds a way through. Comes across the ground. Just outside the 50, Morris decides to hold up. Ellis is running hard for him. That's not the one. Loston might be the one. Well, Cochin, nothing much to kick to. Has a bounce. Takes his time, but not a good kick. Henderson goes back. Ball bounced away from him. Gloston busy giving a contest. Well done, young fella. Robinson under pressure. Gloston again. How many efforts has he got? Oh, terrific. He gives it across to Tuck. Tuck lines up, but he's off target. Nick Gloston. That was inspirational stuff, son.
Had to think his way through the contest, then better Tuck. He actually ran and kicked it from 55. Had the time and space, really, to make a certain goal out of a half chance.
Walker, they're out here, I think. Jamison, well done by Simpson, just protected the space. Curnow. A second bounce. Neat looking kick, but out on the full. I mean, off the boot, it looked sweet enough, but he played a very, very dangerous game, trying to keep it just in for Murphy. He might have been better off to have played the percentages there. So Richmond have steadied a little after the Carlton onslaught. They kicked 5 goals in less than 9 minutes, Carlton. Dangerous kick, contest, but Waite fell over. Well done, Delidio. Got away from Bell too easily. Running, a third bounce. He's got Hurley, who's a left footer, so he has to get around. No, he doesn't. Good kick. Transition footy, brilliant.
Tackling stats are really important, but broken tackles absolutely kill you because all of a sudden you're outnumbered after the broken tackle. And when Delidio got away from Bell, they were opened up.
It's been good victory. This to give the Tigers some breathing space. It's a pretty good set shot. No. Is it going to be a score? No, yes, behind.
Nick Gloston so good just moments ago. Captain of Vic Metro. Number 8 in last year's draft. Now a regular member of the team. Hasn't missed a game since round 14. But this is Walker out of defence. Jackson taped up and back in the action. Gave a contest. Simpson looks down towards half-forward. Nothing much on. Forced to go to Betts. He stifled the half volley. Waits the kick beautifully and finds Yaron right on the 50. Carlton, the term has belonged to them, but they still trail by 9 points. Play on's the call. Yaron leisurely to Murphy, who looks inside and finds Dygan. He's kicked 2 goals. Couldn't get a game. Well, he could prove to be the surprise packet of the afternoon. That's a good kick too. No margin for error there. Dygan. His mind must be racing. Suddenly he's a goal kicker. Spring in his step. Enters the 50. Kick is on the way. It's a beautiful kick. Beautifully timed. Carlton with Dygan's third. Creep to within 3 points.
So he equals his career high, Dygan. He kicked 3 against Collingwood one night. I mean, he's been the sort of the surprise one, hasn't he?
Well, he went down there to try and do the defensive forward role on Delilio, but when you can get your few goals, as a surprise forward, he very rarely plays in the forward line. It's only just that defensive role. He's been a defender for his handful of years in the AFL, senior level at Carlton.
On Monday night, Mick Malthouse was asked about Dygan and the leadership. He said, you don't have to be a good leader to play, actually. He said he's been a great leader around the club. And, I mean, right now, he's proving his worth. Just his 4th game for the year. Too high on Murphy.
Advantage, advantage.
So Gibbs needs to use it now. It's a floaty, wobbly kick. Yaron, can he ignite? He was involved a moment ago. Curnow, it was a slow handball. Curnow goes, and that's awful. That's a really sloppy bit of kicking.
The floaty kick along the ground coming into Yaron, but that's where he probably won it. If the ball's on the ground, he's a much better chance of winning it than if it's in the air.
Grimes, who's actually not bad in the air.
Curnow made his debut against the Tigers, round 1, 2011. Played on Dustin Martin, kick to the outer side, off hands. Marriage slaps it wide, not wide enough. Judd, Bell, 70 metres out, kicks back to a dangerous situation. Chaplin goes up uncontested. The most experienced finals campaigner with a total of 5 at Port Adelaide. Paul Chaplin to Vlauston. Vlauston. It's a nice kick. He's been impressive. Hooley, Ellis. So they settle it down. Margin 3. Set for a big last quarter. It's another good kick. Rance has been prepared to take off and work up the ground. That time held up by Armfield.
Move it on.
So Rance hugs the boundary line. Henderson over the top. Vickery. Henderson's mark. What? Whoops. Going the other way. It's Tuck. There you go. Tuck.
The 50's the mark. It's me.
He's paid the mark. Short to the pocket. And it's held by Edwards.
Shane. Shane.
Optical illusion, Bruce.
Shane.
Shane Edwards has got it.
That's it there.
This could be a lifter. If he can pull one out of his sock here. We're down to 39 seconds. Well,
Doesn't miss according to those stats, Dennis.
Depends where they were, though, Lee. We all know that. Not too many from here, I reckon. Well, that's not a bad effort. He's trying to work it back, but he misses. Behind, stretches the lead. Who would have thought that at half-time? 4 points at three-quarter time. 20 seconds to go. The margin was 26. Their biggest lead, 31.
They would have taken that at half-time, wouldn't they? And they're out here. Bell. So he gets it as far as he can. Bouncing ball. Can Carlton get hold of it? Rance, high tackle, free kick. And now Richmond, maybe one last chance forward. Vickery's got it. Well, he's going to barrel it. And it's not the best barrel you've ever seen, but he's had a pretty good day. Well, they call it the premiership quarter. Carlton had a good one. They kicked 5 unanswered goals at one stage. Vickery and Walker just comparing notes. Nice touch, actually, with all the tension. He's been here a few times, hasn't he? 51st time for Mickey, first for Damien Hardwick. It's all set up for what should be a classic finish. 4 points of difference at three-quarter time.
Not a biased comment either, Dennis.
20 possessions apiece for Murphy and Judd. Lead all comers. As we start the final term, the loser is out. We can't have a draw. It could be extra time, who knows? We're about to find out. Marriage knocks it down. Coming off the line, Yaron. Headed over the top. Hacked out of there by Cochin. It runs out towards the wing. Leading the race is Curnow. Probably wants it out. Not much good to him there. Well, he gets a free kick. That was careless by Jackson. Just clattering into the back of him. Or as it turned out, the front of him. He turned on the line, head down. Hard way to get a free kick, but Curnow, left half back, beyond the wing. Oh, well done, Robinson. Brilliant. Yaron's away, one bounce, run down from behind, terrific. It was Boston. Ball went inside the forward 50. Garland onto the loose ball. And he's hit the post. Oh, wow.
Great chase.
Great run down.
Oh, Deledio, sorry.
Three-quarter time, the margin was just 4 points. So this weekend, 25, 5, 8 and 4 have been the margins at three-quarter time. There have been some thrilling matches. The Friday night one blew out.
Bruce, Carlton are going very early with their sub in this last quarter. Troy Menzel's got the green vest off. He's ready to go. He's very eager to get out there. I'll let you know as soon as I can who the man is that's coming off.
Thanks, Lingy. I noticed that Murphy and Cruiser started interchange. Judd started at centre-half forward. And the ball was bounced in this term. Warnock and Marriage, Jackson, Robinson's lifted. He hurt his hammy early, we know that. Tuck, Pettit, does he keep it in? He does. Well done, Jackson, he ran hard. So Menzel getting ready. So who goes off? Is it one of those big guys? Is it a Cruiser or Warnock? Or
Got to be one of the big guys, Bruce. They need the run now. It's going to be a real knock him down, drag him out sort of last quarter. They need to get one of the big fellas off so they've got plenty of run. It's going to come right down to the wire.
Problem is, the centre bounces have been so critical in this game. If you really lead one of the big guys off, that's a real problem.
Gee, that's a good kick, and Cochin's a great mark overhead.
Just got the separation on Curnow. That's been rare today. Curnow couldn't get some body in the contest.
Yep.
It's a great example of a kick drawing the lead.
Cochin goes short. Well, not sure about that. Edwards kicking really hasn't been his forte this afternoon. He's got it well enough. No easy kick.
It's interesting, isn't it? He's probably, 5 metres closer, but on a much more acute angle. I'm not sure whether Cochin should have just taken his shot.
Captain spreading largesse. Could be a lifter if he gets it. Kick is on the way. Aaron Edwards lines it across the face. Vickery almost the mark in the square. Loose ball. Down goes King. Robinson took him front on.
Dennis, sorry just to jump in there. It's Andrew McInnes who's been subbed off. Good call by you, Lee. They've left the two big ruckmen out there to continue their centre square dominance.
And Robinson, the third man.
Well, you can't do that.
And he's...
That's a non-ruckman not knowing the rules. You can't knock the ball on the full from a ruck contest through the goals. That's Robinson. He does. I mean, the ruckman doesn't happen often, so ruckman half the time don't know, but Robinson had no idea.
So Marriage gets the goal and Richmond gets some breathing space.
Well, how costly is that? I mean, we know it's the
knocks it over the line on the full. It doesn't matter how much pressure. That is Andrew. That's the rule. It's an actual rule, Andrew.
Well, the rules change so often. It's probably
that's been
difficult to keep up.
that's been in for a while.
But you're right,
This is the umpire explaining the decision. This Robinson jumps in the ruck, but if you hit it out over the goal line on the full, it's a deliberate rush behind and a free kick against.
Clubs talk about the 1%ers. The players should know that.
Yeah.
They should know that. Simple. Gibbs should be told that as the ball goes down towards half forward. Could cost them the game. Loose ball at the back. Murphy pushed in the back. Surely will get the free kick. Back Murphy, 52 metres out. He's trying his heart out, the skipper. Lays it off to Gibbs, who can kick it a long way. This one, though, the angled approach. And bits! Not much to stretch. What there was stretching, and he's taken the mark. About 35 metres out for the quick reply.
That's why they've tried to have Grimes on him for most of the game, because he is good overhead, Eddie Betts. But Grimes has gone on to Yaron, and just then he just overplayed it a fraction, Morris, in the air.
Huge kick again. Plenty of them in the second half. Eddie Betts runs in. Kick is on the way. Straight over the goal umpire's hand. He's got 3. So back to 3 points. Eddie Betts, dangerous on the ground and in the air. And the Tigers looking shaky again. There's a good kick coming in too. Gibbs just lobbing it to where it needed to be, and Eddie did the rest.
Murphy and Gibbs combining, Dennis, and then a great mark. So those lights are blaring now. So the Blues get their goal back. Betts with 3 to go with Waite and Dygan's 3. It's been a bizarre match for free kicks against Carlton, resulting in goals. The 350s and then the Robinson a moment ago. Marriage who got the goal. Cochin's been terrific. Vickery, good mark, pulled up a little proppy, gets it on quickly. Vickery, nothing kicked to be honest. And Robinson getting across and taking the mark. And now Simpson's away. And now, well, it's a slowish kick, but he's on. Judd and Cruz are going, and now Walker. He's got time, Walker. Now can he deliver? Waite, good mark. Carlton on top just at the minute. Waite turning his man, then down the line. Bell doesn't take the mark. Betts will be dangerous. He'll be really dangerous here. He'll put them further. No, he won't. It just didn't have enough. And Hoolan got back and saved the day.
That's it.
Right now, Carlton are just getting on top, aren't they?
Yeah, they're running better. Hooley has some running of his own there. Amazing the similarities in the 3 games these clubs have played this season. Big lead to Richmond. Carlton comes storming back. One they won, one they lost. It was a strong mark by Bell in front after the kick came in from the boundary. Might have been Simpson under pressure over there, but the result is that Bell's got it.
Early in the game, you'd probably back him from this distance, but with 3/4 of hard running under your legs, the fatigue really starts to set in now, so this will be a challenge for him.
Imagine if he does kick it. Carlton players getting back a fair way. They probably think or know his capabilities, but that doesn't test anybody. It goes out of bounds on the full, so that's a wasted effort as it turned out.
That tends to be what happens. You go for the extra distance and end up hooking it.
He's had one of those days. He's actually played pretty well. He's made a couple of big blues, but he's been okay. So the Tigers defending hard. Garlick, Judd, did a magnificent second half. Kicks to centre half forward. Henderson couldn't quite well done. Grimes, brilliant Dygan, back to Tui. That one may have been touched going forward. No, Robinson, courageous. Well, 3 minutes ago, he made a monumental error. And here he is with all the heart that he's got to throw himself in front of the pack and take a really gutsy contested mark. He does it his way, Robinson.
Yeah, he doesn't always make the best decisions, but he's unbelievably brave and just a fantastic competitor.
He's kicked one. We thought he was almost done and dusted, didn't we, at the start of that first quarter when he went off with the hammy. This to give Carlton the lead. They're in front, the Blue Boys. Well, where were they going to get their goals from? That's what we said at half-time. Well, they've got them from Dygan and Robinson and Betts and Waite and Garlick and Scotland. And it's off the back of Judd and Gibbs and a bit of Murphy, isn't it?
Yeah, spot on, Bruce. It's off the back of the midfield, winning the clearances. We see Judd, Murphy, Gibbs, they're all up over 20 possessions now. They're your prime movers. If they're getting their hands on the football, they're making good decisions. They're giving the forwards an opportunity to hit the ball.
Well, he didn't hang his head, did the wrong thing, then did the right thing. Back in the middle. Carlton by 3 points. Rucks go at it. Warnock. Greg. Over the football. Menzel throws a boot at it. Dragging it in was Gibbs, and the umpire calls for it.
That man on the bottom of the pack there, Bryce Gibbs, has played his best game for Carlton today, I reckon. The hardest game he's played. He's had 9 clearances. Has just really lifted his team. Great effort.
Bell almost through. Marriage goes after it. Menzel on the ground. How about that? Virtually sold out. Must be about 90, I reckon, this afternoon. Martin improvising in the pack, picks it up then. He's been pretty quiet in the second half. He drives it towards half forward. Aaron Edwards coming up the ground, stolen away by Armfield to Walker. Falling as he kicks, it floats down towards half forward. Off hands, Curnow taken high. Will get the free kick.
Back here. Back here.
So against Cochin. So he uses Murphy. And then Murphy, dainty kick to the pocket. And Newman able to just get away from Menzel. So the older and the new there, eh? Chris Newman. 233rd game, and Menzel just in his 7th today. He's a goal kicker. But Love won in the last quarter. Warnock and Marriage. Bell running hard and missing again. So he's becoming effective, Bell, that big body of his in clearances.
Clearances are just being dominated by Carlton. They have been for most of the game, but certainly the longer the game's gone, the better they've been in that area.
Carlton by 4 points. Newman to himself, drives it outside the 50. Marriage was up. He's looking pretty tired as Marriage. Knocked across the boundary line by Walker. I know you saw the game in round 21, Lee. I did too. It's almost as if you'd read the book, isn't it?
Yeah, it's carbon copy. And Richmond, just remember, over the last couple of years have blown leads a little bit, so those little demons are there in the recesses of their mind.
Cochin got it from Tuck. Revolt. He had 2 to beat. Walker's getting more of the ball and out of bounds and a boundary throw-in.
Richmond now has sent Newman behind the ball, trying to just arrest a little bit of control back into this game.
30th birthday today, Nick, for Juddy, so turns 30 today. Good kick by Martin. Simpson attacking, but well done. Ganged up on him. Jackson, toe pokes forward. Walker and Vickery. Good tackle. Throw. Advantage play. And Carlton are going to get it away. Jamison to Murphy. Well, a couple of things there. Murphy almost fell over, and then he goes down the line to Yaron. This could work out very well. Yaron down the line. Diagon, they're in here.
Simpson on his natural left foot has the bounce, settles, drives it inside the forward 50. Going across, Morris did well, peeled off his man. Strong tackle though, Waite turned around and tackled him in the one motion. Morris with the ball behind Waite, and the umpire will call it up. Well, Morris was brave, he left his man, didn't take it cleanly, and the tackle was wonderful from Waite. Warnock with the body, heavy use, hooks it down behind, Tuck intercepted it though. Waite comes again. Waite, look away, a hand pass to Judd. This would be fitting. This would be fitting. The man who brought them back puts the icing on the cake. It's not done yet, but it's looking terrific.
Look at Vickery getting right into Walker's face.
There was a big call to play the advantage when I'm not sure where they would have been. It's so noisy here. Players won't hear the whistle.
What about Judd? I mean, he won a Norm Smith medal in a losing West Coast team. 30 today he turned. I mean, he's ageless. This has been one of the great performances. This is sort of the legendary, iconic stuff that great players do.
As you get older, you don't do it as often, but you can still do it for quarters, for halves, and the odd games, and that's what he's proving today.
They're not home, as Dennis said, but they've got a pretty good lead, and they're winning everything at the moment. Warnock, important bounce here. Rance, clever. Grimes, he's under pressure, and suddenly these amigos are getting quicker. With the tackle, well played, Rance. Hurley, good kick down the line. Vickery and Walker. Walker's had a really big patch here. Boundary throw in. Here's the advantage play.
Look at this. Maybe he took off. Over half the reason I would have half thought Evans might not have been known it was a free kick. But anyway, it's all come and gone.
Boundary throw in. Cruiser affected that one. Lost it in trouble. Got boot to ball taken by Jackson hurriedly. Got towards half forward. Working in front is Henderson. Ball runs free. Marriage, it's now or never for the Tigers. Marriage pulls it back. How will it bounce? Didn't need to. Just cleared the line. And look at him go. Like a Cossack warrior. He's celebrating. Bigger barn.
He's a beauty of the big ruckman. He actually just backed himself that he could just be a little bit quicker than Henderson on the surge.
Did you say he was looking tired before, Dennis?
He just backed himself. That's what they've got to do, Richmond. They've got to back themselves, not tighten up. At least they've got no lead to defend. So that's one advantage in a way. You've got to have an attacking mindset.
That's a sensational goal. He's kicked 2 in the last
Look at the
quarter.
emotion.
1 from a free kick. He is a warrior. It was a great call, Dennis. Tigers get that very important goal. The Blues have got it. It might have been a bridge too far. Vickery, Cotchin, they've got some wind in their sails. Martin and Tui. Tui stood up. Back to Robinson. He's been good. High ball. Diamond and Morris both hard at it. Collision. Pettit. Still with Pettit. Kerno brings him down. Good tackle. Ball in dispute. Ball up. Think of the pressure on the umpires now, too. I mean, they've made some big calls today.
What a great contest that is. 2 players, eyes on the ball. That's what footy's all about. That's bravery.
Throws up, down at Gibbs. So industrious, a high ball. Newman goes back. Yarran over the top and it's out of bounds. Newman hobbled again. Thrown on the other side. Carlton led it by 4. They trailed by 31. Early in the 3rd term. Cruiser brilliant down to Robinson. Kick inside the forward 50. And it lobs on the chest of White. Well, Robinson has been invaluable. He made the mistake. But probably would have lived in folklore had they lost.
15 seconds,
He's working so hard to erase the memories of all of that. Jack goes close to the kicker. Crowd 150. There's been a few of those this afternoon. It resulted in goals. But Waite, if he's good enough, can still kick it. Kick is on the way and it's beautiful. It's sweet. Oh, he's got 4. Remarkable transformation. Well done, Blues.
He's got 1 in every quarter. Both Nick and Yuli talked about whether he'd play forward or back. He's a bit proppy here, Wade.
Yeah, no, the ball just fell into his arms then, but at least he was good enough to keep. But the ruck work at the moment, Cruiser, I reckon, and Warnock, both their aerial stuff, particularly when Vickery's in the ruck. And it was a hit out from Cruiser that got the ball initially to Robinson. So really, that is one area of the game. Marriage might have to try and ruck for this last 8 minutes of the game.
He needed a big game for them to win, Wade. You talk about his possession. He's had 11 possessions, kicked the 4 goals, but 6 tackles for a key forward. His pressure's been outstanding as well.
So the next goal means everything, you'd think. If Carlton get it, they'll probably win. Richmond need it. There's still time. There's plenty of time, but one more goal for the Blues now before a massive crowd. Have a look at this. It's the biggest crowd Richmond have played in front of since the 1982 Grand Final. It's the biggest elimination crowd ever, the biggest crowd of this year. It's just an astonishing turn up here. 94,690. It's been like a grand final.
And no wonder it felt like a grand final. We've got a grand final crowd.
That ball's not out. I think he's going to be pinged, Armfield.
Hold the ball! Let's make a genuine attempt, Richmond. You're just holding it in yourself. Hold there.
So Deledio with a long bomb.
Searching kick. Jack's down there, in from the side. Henderson backed himself. Took a fine defensive mark to Gibbs. The game he's played. Sets off on the outer side. 1 bounce and his second. Hesitates. Goes back inside to Scotland. Nobody applying pressure, so Scotland's away. Kicking towards half forward. Warnock in front. Chaplin punches away close to the boundary. Deledio at close quarters. A little 1-2 with Rance. Goes back to Rance. Surrounded, in trouble. Duigan grasping. Couldn't get him. Rance over the top. Taken by Gloston. Now it's Sprigg in full stride. Down towards half forward. Vickery works in front. Knocks it down. First to arrive is Revolt. Missed the football. Gathered by Jackson. Jackson goes towards the pocket. Trying to get the angle down there was Edwards. Loose ball. The youngster Menzel. He's in trouble. Reaching in was Marriage. Pulling to the ground was Edwards. And the ball goes out of bounds and we'll have a throw in.
Really important here that Richmond, they know they've got to score, they're 10 points down, but you can't just blaze away and blast the ball inside 50. You've still got to make measured decisions.
Marriage and Cruiser. Cruiser won it. Gibbs. I think he said it's the best game he's ever played as a Blue. Bouncing ball. Garlick might be in here now. Can he cut the angle? Hurley. Kick by Garlick. Duigan. Yes. And running Betts. He's got to come back. Well, Nick Duigan has been the biggest surprise of the day. He really has. It's a great kick.
It's those surges out of defence that Carlton have. It's been their main scoring method apart from the odd centre bounce clearance, but the Richmond chase out of their forward line, I think they would have been disappointed in that today because they have bounced out pretty comfortably, Carlton, particularly as the game has got towards its conclusion.
Well, the guy that might have been captain at the club, we're told, has never kicked 4 goals in a match until now.
What a great story.
He wasn't playing when we got here. He wasn't playing when he went off the ground after the warm-up.
No.
I mean, what an afternoon he's had. I mean, this is a remarkable story.
Yes, he wasn't sent out there to be a goal kicker. Remember, he was sent out to make sure that Deledio couldn't be a running, attacking halfback, but he's just been in the right place, found his way into there, kicked accurately.
Carlton by 16 points. There's still time enough, but they're cutting it fine, the Tigers.
There are some blokes you play with and some blokes that you coach, Lee, that you just know what sort of effort they're going to give you, and Duigan seems like one of those blokes, doesn't he?
Cruiser, neither ruckman did much with it. Marriage plays it to his own advantage, tries to soccer it. Cruiser gets him off the line of the footy. Curnow got a man in the air. Robinson spins out of trouble, kicks it down towards half forward. Battling down there. Grimes got a fist on it, knocked it down, arriving quickly Bell. Grimes comes again, feeds it forward. Now they're away. Jackson, time of the essence. Jackson run down from behind, holding it. Advantage is taken. Robinson misses the mark. Getting back is Pettit. Pettit forward at half-back. Lowers the eyes. Hooley's got it. Back to Pettit. Cruises down towards half-forward. On the lead is King. King will turn around as they flood inside the forward 50. The Tigers probably have the numbers. King goes long down towards full forward. It's a massive kick. Oh, well done, Cruiser.
Mitch Robinson breathing a sigh of relief there.
And hats off to that man, Brock McLean. Nick Malthouse said before the game that he made the call, didn't feel like he could contribute. A really selfless decision. Boy, it's paid off with Nick Duigan coming in.
Gee, Mitch Robinson, absolutely right.
Matty Cruiser!
Really.
Matty Cruiser!
So Matty Cruiser's blood rule. So G. Cruiser was good a moment ago, boarding away. Yeah, Mitch Robinson's turnover could have been so costly. They were in Carlton. It was basically game done.
They've fallen into Blaskin, and haven't they, Nick, in this last quarter? Like, they just haven't, the pressure, get it in quick, but they haven't thought their way in.
Lee, they were 20 contested possessions behind Richmond early, and they're well in front of them now.
High ball. Marriage, a fist on it. Out of bounds. Clock stops at 5 minutes. 15 points the difference. How about this? Promoted from 9th in the finals. History making in its way. As I said before, the irony of Richmond, if they're to be beaten by a team placed 9th. They've owned that position in recent times. That's a throw, surely. Armfield allowed to go. Pulling to the ground, Scotland to Simpson. High ball towards the wing, Eddie Betts. And watch him closely. Well, good enough. Morris got him on the ground. That's the safest place. Eddie, racked with cramp.
Move it on now. Play on.
Wants an interchange, I think. Sends it down towards half forward. Headed in from the side, got a fist on it, knocks it towards the boundary, it stays in. Oh, Robbo, down he goes on a collision course with Morris. Two of the toughest in the business. Robinson goes back. Morris walks away. Jackson, the policeman.
They'd lap that up, those two, wouldn't they?
Yep.
Rather that than the feed, I reckon. Gibbs couldn't quite get it out. Deledio, they need something remarkable, the Tigers, to half forward. Edwards, he's been good. He made one blue in this last quarter, perhaps not playing on. Martin, quiet second half, fantastic early. Grigg on the right side for a left foot. Everything's got to work for them now. They can't afford a turnover here to fall forward. Henderson, what a mark! That was Nick Revolt-like and Jonathan Brown.
Steady.
Well, it was going in the wrong direction. It took a lot of guts.
Another long high ball in. They just all of a sudden they just kept Kennedy bombed it in this last quarter, Richmond.
High ball, Warnock bounces off his body. Marriage virtually out on his feet. Tackled by Murphy. Could have almost been a free to Carlton. That could have almost been a free to Richmond. Gibbs' disposal, not copybook. Aaron fumbled, the ball's out of bounds.
Well, tight finals when there's a lot on the line. They bring out extraordinary things in people, and that was just a great effort from Henderson. We've seen a lot of great acts this last quarter.
Lucky Henderson, outstanding. Thought of the pack, Curnow. Tuck was looking for Cochin. Gibbs again, stayed on his feet, so important in that situation. Goes down the line and runs it out of bounds. Boundary throw in. It seems gone.
Well, we're down to Lee's 3 goals with 3 minutes left. What do they do?
Clean footy, Lee. Everything's going to be clean.
They've got to try and be careful that they don't get all sucked into the stoppage. They've got to win the stoppage, but they've got to get it into space to be able to run the footy, Carlton. That's what they're going to do from this point on.
So Jackson,
Richmond, I should say.
we know what you meant, Lee. Vickery. Now, Ellis is a good guy to have the footy, I reckon. He's normally a very good kick. Well, that's short and not great. Vlosten's been terrific. And Judd's been magnificent to Menzel. Menzel gets it on to Dygan. And then Dygan, he's the current day Shane Allen. Gibbs will take it, I reckon, not quite. But he brings his man down and he turns him. And if he kicks a goal here, it's the best day of his footy life. Chaplin getting back and then building it away.
The secret of Gibbs in the last 10 minutes or so, most of the day actually, he stays on his feet. Cruiser, Robinson trying to get free, hits again. High ball. Marriage will need to go here, and he does. He's been valiant. Marriage. But the wrong people are getting the footy for the Tigers at the moment. This is better. One of their runners carries the ball. Deledio. Not a particularly good kick. How will it bounce? A chaos ball inside the forward 50. Revolt's got it. Jamison's got him at close quarters. Scotland under real pressure, put down by King. Leading back Walker. Walks it across the line.
Well, they just need a goal here. They've got to get a goal from a clearance. If they get a goal here, there's still some hope. Warnock over the top. Carlton will play the percentages. Yaron did it pretty well. King, it runs away. Can you believe this? They were 5 goals in front in the third quarter. Carlton have done and dusted. Matty Richardson, well, it's been a long-suffering wait for the finals. 95,000 people. And unless something remarkable happens here, they're going to go under. Robinson belting it away. Rance, his duel with Waite's been pivotal. Stopping and propping. Betts gets in and taking him was Garland. And you can put down the glasses. It's an amigo. It's an amigo that'll finish it off. Kick it, Jeffrey. He does. Carlton are on their way to Sydney. Yes, it's the Blues. And Mickey Malthouse is going to create a bit of coaching history here today. No man's won as many finals as Mick ever. He's gone past Jock McHale today. And Carlton have gone past Collingwood. They'll finish above them this year.
Why is that important?
It is if you're a Carlton supporter, Dennis. Anything Carlton can do better than Collingwood, they're very happy.
And there's another sting to the tail because of the coach as well.
Oh, terrific. What a performance by Carlton. It's gone. He's gone.
A 12-goal second half. Fantastic.
And here's to you, Mitchell Robinson. 9 possessions in the final term. An error, but a heart as big as the MCG. Pivotal in what's happened in this final term. Revolt dropped the mark. Jamison under pressure. Hand passes outside the defensive 50. Tracks it that way. Boundary throw in. Clock stops at 49. And the fairy tale is gone.
What a second half some of their players have played. Mitch Robinson, we've spoken a lot about Gibbs. You mentioned the small forwards at half-time. They've kicked 5 between them in the second half.
Bill gets it. Betts, here they are, right on cue. Well, it's all been on the back of this guy. 30th birthday today. Listen to the roar from him. He might have his own statue, Lee, alongside yours one day. He's one of the all-time greats.
Carlton know they've been told that there's only inside a minute, so all it is just hold on to it. You don't need to do anything. Don't give the ball back if you can help it.
Well, he might have dropped it mental. And rolling and a behind. So an anticlimax. Yes!
What a win.
From nowhere.